We want to get to a viewer question from a viewer named Mark asking, any news about the UNC basketball coaching position? Well, Mark, glad you asked. Huge news out of Chapel Hill tonight. Michael Malone will now be the new head coach of the men's basketball team.
At least two sources confirmed the hire to WRAL this afternoon. A lot of names were flying around the last few weeks, right? But Michael Malone got the job. We have team coverage on this story tonight. Brian Murphy is here for a live edition of Murph's Turf.
How about that?
But let's start with WRAL's Eric Miller in Chapel Hill.
Eric, you were out there, you were talking to students and fans on campus. Are they surprised by this hire? Do they support it? What are the vibes there tonight?
And then surprised, yes. Excited, also yes. UNC fans, for the most part, they seem to be really behind this move. They like Malone's experience. They like his record. There is a little bit of concern out there that, he hasn't coached at the college level in decades, literally longer than any of his players will be old by the time he actually steps into this job. But that's a sin that UNC fans, at least for the time being, are willing to forgive. For the students out there, there is some real excitement about this and some comparisons that have been tossed around to Bill Belichick, with a lot of students hoping that Malone brings that same excitement, that same energy that Belichick brought to the start of this last football season.
I was surprised. I was in math class, and a friend next to me who knows a lot more about this than I do was talking about how he's one of the best coaches.
I didn't believe it at first because it came out of the blue. I'd heard Billy Donovan, I'd heard about Tommy Lloyd, but I hadn't heard about Malone. So I'm very excited.
It's not going to be an instant win, even though we are a blue blood program and Mike Malone's a great coach. I'm looking forward to the next 3 years, but there's still some reserves.
And while those Bill Belichick comparisons are getting thrown around out there, there is also the caveat and the hope that Malone's first season this coming year goes a whole lot better than Belichick's first season. Guys?
All right, Eric, thank you for that report. Now, let's take a trip to Murph's Turf.
Well, this is fun, bringing you a live edition of Murph's Turf tonight. Murph, UNC finally has its new men's basketball coach, Michael Malone. Let's start with the basics. Who is Michael Malone?
Well, he's a very accomplished NBA coach. He served for 10 years as the coach of the Denver Nuggets. A lot of that time with Nikola Jokic. Took him to an NBA title in 2023. Before that, he coached the Sacramento Kings for a couple of years. And his dad was an accomplished high school, college, and professional coach as well. So Michael Malone comes with a lot of winning pedigree.
And you pulled some interview from not too long ago either. Tell me a little bit about that. I guess we've been seeing him around campus.
Yeah, his daughter, Bridget, plays for the UNC volleyball team. And so he spent a lot of time on campus, told the Carolina Insider podcast in October just how much he loves Chapel Hill and that he roots for all of the teams, was wearing a UNC sweatshirt, a UNC hat. He's worn that on other appearances as well, and was even at basketball practice, attended 5 or 6 basketball practices even before the season started. Hubert Davis brought him down to the floor, had him talk to some of the players.
The first practice I went to was in the practice gym. Then the first time I was in the big gym, the manager brought me in to sit upstairs. The next thing I see Hubert Davis waving, "No, we bring him down here." So then I was sitting on the floor. And I thought, this is nice. I had no idea what that meant, though, until I went to dinner with Pat Sullivan. And he said, hey, that's a really big honor. Because I didn't coach here, I didn't play here, I didn't graduate from Carolina. And that seat is reserved for family.
I'm definitely not done coaching. Coaching is in my blood. I got that from my father. And I'm excited to get back coaching on those sidelines and teaching once again.
I can't help but
maybe we should have seen this come.
Go ahead, Murph, go ahead.
Maybe we should have seen this coming, Ashley. Yeah, maybe we should have seen this coming. Talking to the basketball team, wearing all the gear, saying he's not done coaching yet.
I can't help, Murph, but see a bit of a parallel between this coaching hire and then what UNC did with Bill Belichick and the football team. They're taking the guy who coached for the pros for a long time, bringing him to college. Does Malone face a similar learning curve? Is that an off-base question?
Yeah, certainly not an off-base question, right? You've got two guys who have won championships at the professional level, now coming to Chapel Hill trying to do the same at the college level. I think the difference here is that basketball, the roster size is so small. If Michael Malone and staff can land 3 or 4 star players, they'll be way ahead of the game, as opposed to Bill Belichick having to turn over an entire roster, teach them a new offense, a new defense. I think just basketball, it's a lot easier to contend with fewer players. You don't have to know this whole universe out there. I think one of the interesting things is Michael Malone had so much success with Nikola Jokic. This game, college basketball, becoming such an international game, can he use some of those connections to maybe land some players from Eastern Europe? We've seen what Illinois was able to do with players from Eastern Europe earlier this year. They made it to the Final Four. So does that recruiting help the fact that he's won with players from all over the world?
Maybe. Hey, you mentioned Malone's connections to UNC, but I got to ask, how did we get to this point, right? We were talking about UNC's shortlist for a couple of weeks. I don't remember Malone being a part of that conversation.
Yeah, his name sort of popped up in the last few days, late last week. But you're right. I mean, how did we get here? Well, UNC fired Hubert Davis, and I think everybody thought they were going to land one of the biggest coaches in the game, whether that was Tommy Lloyd at Arizona or Dusty May at Michigan or Billy Donovan with the Chicago Bulls. And then there was sort of a second tier of guys like McCollum at Iowa, Grant McCaslin at Texas Tech, even Scott Drew's name at Baylor. He's won a national title. He came up. I think what we're seeing is how hard it is to move coaches in this NIL era. If you've got an administration that backs you, you've got a large buyout, and you've got a huge NIL budget, there's no reason to try to recreate what you've done in Iowa or what you've done at Arizona here at North Carolina. There's just stay where you are, keep the good times rolling rather than try to rebuild. We've seen it at Indiana. We've seen it at other places in other sports too, where the blue blood name, the history, the tradition doesn't quite mean as much when it comes time to find a new coach.
Murph, appreciate it. Thank you.